Welcome to the channel. Today we will be looking at the first complete faction to moving on with the project finally, which is Nature Guardians. Like the logo, I think I did a pretty good job on it. I'll explain the logo in a bit. Well, actually, I'll explain it now. There's water attribute characters, there is nature attribute, and this part is based off of Emerald Wings, which was one of the first redraws I did. So this was Emerald Wings before. This was Emerald Wings after. And in his role in Nature Guardians is to lead them, and I should actually put it what they are first. Basically, the Nature Guardians are a group of pirates, but they all have domain over their own territory. His is basically the space between the atmosphere and where the sky begins, kind of like a not so strong Rayquaza if we talking in Pokemon terms. His is he's a magic user. And also, these dudes are the baseline for the whole series. Whenever I create a brand new archetype of fighter, each one there's going to be a new character for this faction specifically. They're like the tutorial characters that you team up with in a video game. But back to Emerald Wings, he is a magic user, and his faction is Nature Guardians. That goes for all of them. And he is based off of a bird. And then here we have this right here, Shield Sword, but Swordsman before. And this is Shield Swordsman after. He is a tool user. Tools in this case for this series is basically claws, nails, anything attached to the body used as a weapon other than something not attached to you. So his weaponry is like claws and his spines on his shell and actually his head too. His head is actually is very hard. So just is of his shell. And I forgot to explain him. So he's magic. His magic is air magic, but like for him, but it's very special. It isn't just a normal wave his wings around and shoot and shoot air at people. No, his is like he can maintain air, like he can control the air around people. And inside people's body, inside he can even control the air inside people's bodies if he wanted to. But that right there is what pushes body to the limit. This is Fish Hook. Wait, I think that's it. Yeah, this is Fish Hook right here before, and this is Fish Hook after. He is part of weapons. His fighting style is weapons. He doesn't use magic. He's already a magical being. But what makes him a weapons user is that fisherman harpoon like shaped sword in his hand. But the main idea for this character is I wanted to model model his sword after not just a harpoon. So it's not so that's why it's not on the both sides of the sword. But I also wanted to base it off of Fishing Hook because whole fighting style is like grabbing you by the hook from a distance and then dragging you into his space so that he can he can get into a sword fight with you. That's the point of his combat style. Or better yet, drag you into the water into his domain. This is Wildcat. Cat with a K, not a C. And he is based off of a cat, just like his previous form. I just changed up, darkened his skin up, darkened his actual fur, and his outer fur is now Cheeto Man colored. Mostly because I actually like that pattern on the Cheeto Man color. And his is Melee. Melee in this series is, well, like every other series, Melee is just melee, as in he's a fist fighter. He doesn't use weapons, and I don't really think the way I drew his hands, he can hold a weapon. He's also an acrobat, so he can do backflips and jump around and gain advantage by going to a higher plane just to jump, so he can jump on top of you from afar and throw you across a room or something like that. That's why and due to him, and let me address his not having a tail. He's like a werecat, so he doesn't have a tail because in lore there's gonna be a massive reason. Whenever I get to Over the X, there's gonna be a major reason why he doesn't have a tail. Other than the fact that in this series, werecats don't have tails, but cat people do. And this is, I believe, Sea Hunter. This was him before. This is him after. Now, let me remember. Sea Hunter is a unique. He has an attribute that is going to pop up every now and then, which is the tech attribute. So this is for any character that's based off of or is very much reliant on tech for combat. And his home is actually Atlantis. So the story is he came to the surface, learned about human society's advancements, and created made himself equipment and infused a molten substance with the water that he lived in to create power orbs that power his technology. As for the red eye, there's so much for his body. These power orbs are actually radiation, so it's spread to his eye, and now he can actually also shoot lasers because the technology attached to his body has also integrated some of his insides into becoming part cyborg. And that right there was the Nature Guardians faction. Little mixed bag of everything, really. But I hope you like that, and I won't be working on that storyline for a while. from the previous video because I want to focus on making the factions right now. And I might not even ever get to that anymore because when I changed the trajectory of this series to be more like a RPG inch newcomer type thing where I just come up with new characters for the series because it really lets my creativeness shine because I don't know how to speak stories. I'm more of a story writer than a speaker of stories or telling stories. So anyway, with that being said, I hope you liked the video. Like, comment, subscribe, blah, 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 whatever. And hope to see you again for the next update video on the series. Have a nice, wonderful day. Peace.